us now here at the table, the senior point guard, Darius Theus. How are you, Darius?
I'm doing real good. How you doing?
Great. All right, this is where I turn it over to Coach Darius. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
D, great to have you here tonight. I can't believe you're a senior. Where has the time gone? Darius, talk to us a little bit about your family and just your background, where you're from. A lot of the fans, maybe know a little bit about that, but fill us in some more.
I have 3 brothers, 2 older, 1 younger than me. I believe everybody know my father. He's always in the stand with the sign. And my mother, she's at every game also. She's just very laid back.
So you have a very, very supportive family, and you guys are very close-knit.
Most definitely.
Of all the members of your family, who's your biggest fan?
My mother.
Your mom?
My mother, yes.
And so going all the way back to when we recruited you, and I started recruiting you before I even came to VCU.
Yes, sir.
Was it really your mom that held the key to your decision?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Every night, me and her always talked about it. She fell in love with you from the moment she met you. So it's probably kind of simple what school I was going to come to.
Let's talk about your teammates for a little bit. You've played with a lot of great players here and a lot of different personalities. You've learned from different guys, sometimes what to do, sometimes what not to do. Talk about some of your all-time favorites of guys that you've really enjoyed playing with over the years here at VCU.
My favorite, Brandon Rozelle, most definitely. To this day, that's like my best friend, my brother. I love Brandon. Second favorite, Troy. Don't get no better than having Troy on the wing, just adding up the assists every night. And Joey helped me out a lot. Just playing with Joey for 2 years, he really helped me.
Talk about, you mentioned Joey, your progression as a point guard and as a college point guard. You came in, you had been a terrific high school player in kind of a freewheeling style at Norcom. Good coaching there, but certainly maybe you weren't required to do some of the things you were required to do here. And you played with Joey at times and behind Joey at times. I know there was some frustration there, but what are some of the things you learned in those first 2 years?
Joey just helped me out a lot with confidence. I struggled a lot when I first got here, but he just led the way for me, and I watched him every step of the way. And I think starting with him some games and playing with him games, it really helped me out a lot.
What does it mean when a coach comes at you sideways? And can you explain that to the fans out there?
Coming at me sideways, it's just a disrespectful manner.
So tell the story about, I think you were a sophomore when you mentioned that to Coach Rhodes and I.
Coach Rhodes was just yelling at me. He was just getting after me. And for a moment, I felt like I was at home, outside on the court. And I just looked at him like he was somebody, like from the street or something. I was just like, Coach, why are you coming at me sideways?
I tell you, Greg, that's something that I will never forget because it really was a turning point for Darius and for Coach Rhodes and myself, in that I think we were able to come together, D, after that and really gain a much better understanding that we were all on the same page. We were trying to get you better. And talk to us a little bit about what happened, because I sensed an unbelievable transformation after the Final Four. Joey, so his eligibility was gone. We started workouts that spring, and you were a different person and a different player. So what happened in your mind?
I just felt like it was my time. And I completely put all my trust into, the coaching staff too. And for me, sometimes, trusting people was very tough for me. But, when Joey had left, I just felt like it was my time to step up. And the only way I could do it was by trusting the coaching staff, and I really just changed my mindset.
Well, I'm so proud of you, man, because, it's interesting. When we first got here, Eric was on his way out, and everyone said, well, what are you going to do with Joey as your point guard? And then when Joey graduated, obviously after 2 terrific years as a starting point guard, everyone said, well, Joey's moving on from the Final Four team. What are you going to do with Darius as your point guard? And all we did was set a school record for wins, go back to the NCAA tournament, win another game, win the conference championship, and you had more to do with that than anyone on our team. So I'll give you a lot of respect for that. Let's talk about school. How's school going? And tell us where you're at.
School's going real good. Sad to say it's my last semester. But, I really enjoy school, and it's just a blessing to be here.
And are you on track to graduate?
Oh, yeah. Miss Sophia, she's the best.
Yeah, we mention her name sometimes, Coach, but again, you constantly are singing the praises of Sophia Hjort, right?
Yeah, this is the plainest way I can say it, Greg. Other than our players, because they're the center of everything we do, but other than our players, she's the most important person in our program, and that's not to take away from the coaches, but Sophia, don't you feel that way, Darius?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she organizes everything for our guys. She helps them register for classes. She helps them make sure their tutoring is set, their study hall hours. She just helps organize their day and their life. And then when they get tired of me and the rest of the coaches, they can go and sit on her couch and cry on her shoulder. You've done that a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
So she's unbelievable. Darius, tell us about this team this year and how you feel this year's team maybe is different than previous year's teams and what you see coming over the course of the next 2-3 months.
I feel like this team is very special. We got a lot of weapons. Troy, Trey, Jew, Rob, just the things they can do on the offensive end, and Briante, on the defensive end. And then we just got so much depth on the bench. I just feel like everybody's bought into what we're trying to do.
And talk about the challenge of moving to the Atlantic 10 and, just from a player's standpoint, how you see that. And, when we told you guys last spring we're moving to this new league, how have you approached that?
I think last night really said it all. You could just tell it was a different level of competitiveness, Last night just said it all. And I feel like we're ready for the challenge. I mean, that's why we did the move for better competition. And, we're just going to show everybody what we can do.
What's your role on the team?
To lead. To lead, that's all I need to do. And, you gave me that role. I equal the team, so I'm just trying to do that.
Well, you're doing a great job of it. And, I think the ultimate measure of any point guard is how much you win, how much you make your team win. And that's really the only statistic that matters. And you've done a great job putting guys in position to be successful. There's number one reason why Troy Daniels is leading the nation in three-point makes, and that's because you get him so many threes. He's a great shooter, but he's not leading the nation in percentage. He's leading in makes because the guy gets 20 threes in 24 minutes a couple games ago. D, tell me this. Here's a tough question for you. Who's the best player on our team?
Right now? The best player, I mean, it's obvious. Trey is. That's obvious. Trey does it all.
Okay, and then, so if Trey's the best player on our team, who has the most potential?
Melvin.
Wow.
If Melvin can just listen, don't be stubborn, Melvin can be great.
Now, who's more stubborn, Melvin as a freshman or you as a freshman?
Me.
I'm telling you, it's close though. He's got that added New York stubbornness. That adds a little bit to him.
Does he get more stubborn when he makes a couple? Like last night, like he had a couple of those floaters last night. He was feeling it, right?
No, when he has success, he listens more. It's more when things don't go his way.
Okay.
But Darius and some of our older guys are certainly mentoring him, and it's been great. But Greg, Darius is my favorite player of all time. He was my first recruit here at VCU, and I told him when we recruited him, you remember this, D, we were in IHOP. Remember we went to IHOP?
Yep.
And Darius's girlfriend at the time was a waitress there. And we're in IHOP, and I said, Darius, if you come to VCU, we're going to be forever tied together, connected at the hip, because you only have one
First recruit.
One first recruit?
I get a little emotional.
Yeah.
You only have one first recruit, And you're my guy, man. I love you.
That's awesome. That's really good. That's great. Darius, do you want to ask Coach a question? We only do this for seniors. Do you want to ask Coach one question since he just interviewed you?
Yeah, who you think the best player on the team is?
All right, here we go.
I think Javonte Reddick's the most talented player on the team by far, not even close. But I think that Travion Graham probably is the best scorer. I think you're the most important. I think Troy Daniels shoots the ball better than anyone in the country. And I think Rob Brandenburg, when he decides to be a killer, is as good as anybody too. So when you put all those guys together, we should be pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. Last thing, Darius, had you ever seen Troy get that mad last night?
No.
You were laughing a little bit when I brought that up.
Was that fake toughness or was that?
No, Troy showed that last year against JMU. Remember?
Has Troy ever been in a fight?
I don't think so.
Hey, thanks for being on, D. You're the best, man, and really, really excited. You know, I remember when I was a senior at this time, and I remember kind of counting the days left in the season and it being so special and so valuable, each one of those practices, each one of those games. And, you know, I can't wait to just, you know, share in that experience with you. And there's no point guard I'd rather have on my team.
Great stuff. How about a big round of applause for Darius Theus? Great stuff.